Hello everyone, Tanak here. Welcome to episode 38 and a half of building my industrial empire in EVE Online. I wanted to do a midweek update just to let you guys know a little bit what's going on in my head and how we're planning the move ahead. Because I got some reflection myself and my implication in game, so I'll share that with you and you'll understand where I'm coming from and the decision I'm making and everything. I've just looked at it, and the time I spent in game is actually a concern for me. I spent, since the start of this YouTube series, 2,300 hour, almost 400 hour in EVE. So okay, part of it is AFK, but mostly I'm not that big on leaving EVE running in the background and doing so. Usually when I have EVE running, I'm at my computer doing something. So that's an average of 8 hours per day, plus all the time I spend on Discord. I got result in game. I think that with this series I've proven that it is possible for a new bro to get in the game and thrive. If he's I wouldn't say, I don't want to call myself smart, but I mean, if he pays attention enough and he takes the time to learn the ins and outs of the game and he's actually playing the social game, I think it is possible to thrive in game. But again, I mean, if you spend 8 hours on something every day and you're not progressing, you have a problem. So I got the result, but it had negative impact on my life. And one part of it is not enough sleep, obviously, especially during wartime. Not enough family time. I don't spend enough time with my kid, with my wife, but I not as much as I would like to, and it is starting also to impact my life at home. So I need to scale down a bit. And I like other game too. I'm just not a guy that just does EVE in his life. I like other game. I got Crusader King 3 last night, and it was like a really nice break from EVE just to play a few hours of Crusader King. So that's a little bit what I'm considering, like what's running in my head right now. How much I would like to spend on EVE. I would like to spend about 2 hours per day. If I could play EVE at that pace, like let's say from 10 to midnight weekdays and weekend, that would be perfect for me. But is it possible to do that while still thriving in game, while still being a CEO of a corp, and while keeping a YouTube series, which is a large part based on the previous two? So the whole concept of this series was showing you what I did in game and tracking my progress and how I move forward in game and how I'm approaching things. And well, this is kind of part of the series because I'm also showing you how I'm approaching another problem that I have in game, but it's more a problem that I have outside of game than in game. But anyway, is it possible to keep the series interesting while scaling down my time in game? And that's my reflection right now. And I've come to think of like what do I like to do in EVE? And what I like the most with this game and what I haven't seen in any other MMO so far, and I've played a lot of MMO. I've started when they were text-based. I played text-based mod at the Patter mod at when I was in university. I played Meridian. I played EverQuest 1. I played Ultima Online. I played like a bunch of MMOs since they started, and I've tried, like, I probably tried them all, or not all, but a large amount, at least 20 in my life. Eve is a very special game because it is the only one that is actually a real true sandbox. The only other two that come close to that I've seen, that I've experienced in my mind, I would say are Albion Online, which is interesting. I've played a little bit, but not enough to get in the real social aspect of it. But it looked like it has part of the element that are good in Eve, and the other one is Black Desert. Even though people think of Black Desert as a grindy game, if you've played Black Desert at a high enough level to participate in Node War, I don't know if it's still like that, but when I used to play, I was like pretty hardcore in Black Desert, and that's another game that has the social aspect of it, of the like the corp where you actually get a salary from your guild. It's pretty cool. Anyway, that social aspect of Eve is really the driving factor for my love of the game. The depth of the economic system. I mean, I love planning my station, where I'm going to put them, what module I'm going to put in them to actually optimize the supply chain to make sure that people can produce with the less hassle possible in the most efficient way possible. That depth of the economic system, and doing and playing with that from my side, I love this. I like the empire building. One of my most fun time is Eve was when I was building my little Poco empire. So that's something, and I'm guessing I would enjoy Sov. I've never played with it, but I'm guessing I would enjoy like putting my flag on the map everywhere else, as I'm a little bit of a megalomaniac. So anyway, politics and diplomacy in game, I love that. Spy work, I'm not telling you about that, but well, I'm telling you for the first time, I do a significant amount of spy work in Eve, but I can't really talk about it in a YouTube series because obviously it would not, it would endanger my spies. So, but I mean, if let's say I infiltrate pirate lords of war, I can't tell you about it, right? Until, I mean, the spy has been burnt, and but I haven't. None of my spy have been burnt so far. Anyway, cover hop recon, I like getting a cloaky ship in a busy system, finding the enemy. That's a part of the game I enjoy. Actually, that's probably the part I enjoy the most when I'm actually flying my ship. And I like like I said, the meta aspect of the industry, like how you get moon goo, how you turn that and through reaction, like all the conceptual aspect of the industry I like. What I don't like in Eve, well, actually, strangely enough, for a guy that's been running an industrial empire series for the past 9 months, I actually don't really like doing industry myself. I like the meta aspect of it, but I despise mining. I hate doing mining. I'm not. I like laying down PI initially on a planet or deciding which planet I'm going to use. I like it, but actually going to harvest my planet for day to day is a chore for me. I don't. I mean, I got PI planet that I'm in touch for like months. Running invention, I don't really like. The logistic aspect of industry, maybe that's why I like optimizing my supply chain so I can minimize my logistic, but just like carrying stuff around and then carrying the stuff to a trade up to sell, and that I don't like as much. Coordinating build job between people. I mean, when somebody asked me like, can you build 20 mutant? Initially it was fun. Now I'm at a point where it's a chore. It's not something I like to do anymore. I mean, I know how to do it. Obviously, I know how to do it at least, and I would say obviously, but it seems that I know how to do it well enough. But usually what end up is, unless you get a super larger order, you're basically wasting 2 or 3 hours for something. I mean, go outside, go mine, and you'll make more money. So it's so actually the like me myself doing industry, not as much as I used to. At least initially I liked it more, but now I've fallen in love with more of the meta aspect of industry than actually being the one doing the industry. So it is what it is. PvE, like, I like the social aspect of the incursion fleet, like the banter on the fleet chat, on the fleet com, but the content is repetitive. And like the other aspect of PvP, I've tried Abyssal Conduit, mission running. I don't hate it, but no, it's not my favorite part of the game. I'm not a big fan of theory crafting, fitting, and like finding, like, if somebody want to discuss should we put like a shield extender or whatever on fit on something. I don't. The only thing I like fitting is station, fitting ship. Like, just tell me what to put on that, and I'll be happy with that. So I'm happy to defer to people that like to do that stuff. The flight mechanic and the PvP, I can't say. I mean, large fleet combat, I've been in, like, the biggest fleet I've been through was like 70 people on our side. I like that. I mean, it is interesting to do, but the actual flight mechanic of flying your ship in Eve, no. It's supporting the rest of the universe, but it could be better. I mean, honestly, give me the flight mechanic of Elite Dangerous with the social aspect of Eve, and I'd be in paradise. But anyway, and the economic depth too, because Elite has like kick-ass flight mechanic and visual, but zero economic depth. Exploration, I've tried it. I couldn't do that full time. I'd get bored pretty easily. And what I don't like is actually holding people's hand. I don't mind explaining stuff. I don't like, but the amount of herding that you have to do when you're a CEO, it gets at a point. It can get tedious at some point. I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite part of. It's not something that I actually enjoy doing. So, is the CEO role a good fit for me? Well, the thing is, a good part of those tasks are well aligned with playing the CEO. Maybe except the theory crafting and the PvP part, but a good part of that, I think, is aligned with at least combo well with being a CEO of a corp. But is it possible to play that type of game at an interesting level with the amount of time I want to put in game? And that's just my reflection that I have now, because I really need to scale down the level that the amount of time I'm putting in the game. But I don't want to stop it completely. I mean, I still do love the game, and but like I said, I'd like to be able to, let's say, not log in for a few days just to finish a game of Crusader King, or just playing, like, not logging straight after work because I need to give role to somebody, and I mean, yeah, obviously the answer is delegate. And now I'm at a point where I'm rebuilding my core team to try and have everything run when I'm not there. But still, I think that a CEO needs to be involved in the game, and even and for me, when I say 2 hours, is 2 hour involvement in the game. If I'm spending 6 hours in conversation, even if I'm not logged in on the client, well, it is still being playing Eve. So that I want to move to a more casual play style. Other thing that I'm thinking, YouTube, I've said before, is a content magnet. Since I'm public, people know where I am. I will attract content, good and bad. We'll have people that will come and try and gank me. Happen, part of the game. I mean, I knew before going on YouTube that it would happen. I have people that will come and try to shoot our station. I also have people that are calling me to offer me stuff, to offer me to help, to want to collaborate with them. And I mean, it is a content magnet, and I enjoy, actually. This is fun, but the thing is, I already have a problem managing the content that I do have. I'm getting too much content in the game, so and it's hard to tap it down, but still leaving it on. So the thing is, I need to find a sweet spot where I'm able to play at the time at the amount I want to play, but not getting overloaded by the universe. And it's seriously not an easy way. I mean, it's not as easy as it sounds. I mean, people say, okay, Tanak, just like 2 hours, just like 2 hours and log off after that. Yeah, but the thing is, if after 2 hours there's a guy shooting our station, you will log more. You will get involved. So that's it. The logical path forward, and that I'm not going to go into a deep analysis of why this is the choice, but because I'm going to do that Friday. But the logical path forward for the corp would be to anchor in Lowsec. Why in Lowsec? Because, like I said, YouTube is a content magnet, and I got a bunch of viewers that are offering that have offered their help. So let's say that I don't have a problem finding bat phone. If somebody push, and I think anybody that followed the series from the start, well, I've never lost the structure in Eve, and it's not because I'm a great strategist or fighter. It's because I'm a great bat phoner. So I got good reception on my bat phone, and so we want to anchor in Lowsec in a holding corp. Why in a holding corp? Well, and why not anchoring in I? Well, it's easier to get people to come and help you in Lowsec because they don't have to commit to a war. If you anchor your structure in I, you can get ISEC war deck corp that will deck you, and then you have to ask people. If you want to ask people for help, you have to join a war. So it's a lot harder for them to commit than it is to come for a timer. And when people come and attack you in low, they have to commit to expose themselves in low 3 times. So you got okay. Let's say the first one you're taken by surprise, they ref your station. You still have two occasion where they got to show you up at your doorstep at a time you control, and you can prepare to answer them. A corp that is really strong, or strong enough, I would say, that have some number. Let's say a corp that can field like 30 battleship. Well, for them, it's not the same logic, because Lowsec becomes like a chaos element. There's too many people that can come in and can mess everything up. As in ISEC, they will get a war deck, they will fight. But they are strong enough to fight. So if they get a deck, they control They control the field of engagement because of that. They don't have any outside help. But for a small corp like us, getting into low, the chaos is actually working in our favor, and the capacity to call people to help is actually working in our favor. So for a smaller corp, I think Lowsec is actually safer than because there's also a bunch of ISEC war decking corp that will not risk their going into low because, well, they know what can happen if they do. So anyway, that's why my logic and in our current situation, I think that it makes sense. What we need to operate as an industrial corp is one Asbel and one right arrow for refining, a rig for producing industrial cap, basically what we had in Avenger before we went away from there. People will attack. Pretty much 100% sure that people will attack. I'm also pretty much 100% sure that we'll get through it, and that I'll have help, and that if somebody eventually push our structure to the last timer and wants to commit to that last timer, I'll have people to help. So it is not the problem that I'm afraid that I'm gonna lose those stations. The problem is, do I have the stamina? Do I have the in-game time for it? Because if your structure get attacked, it does require a significant amount of time to handle the diplomacy behind it, to handle the coordinating the defense, because you also, you can call, but you want to show up for your own station, because or else it looked like you're just using other people. So and it is a learning experience for your members, so you want to fight for your own station, and when you do that, it consumes a significant amount of time, especially from leadership, because for a member, you show up to your timer and you're there. So for you, it might be an inconvenience of having to show up at a time where you had something else planned. But I mean, the commitment for a line member is not as high as commitment for leadership. And it is very taxing for the leadership of your corp to be coordinating all those attacks all the time. So do I have the stamina, and do I have the ability the capacity to put that time in game? That's where I'm at right now. And again, I'm not saying that I want to quit Eve. I'm just saying, like, how much Eve can I manage without my life being impacted too much? And the other option is if I choose an easier path. And in a way, you kind of saw what was an easier path in the last month, because I mean, Unpro was a great alliance to be part of. And you, even reading your comments, I already saw that, and it felt also that it did impact the series in a way that, because, well, the thing is, if I don't manage all those things, well, I don't have all those things to tell you. So I don't have as much stuff to talk about each week. So does this work? Does this not work? How would it impact the series? So I mean, at some point, if I have to make a choice between my family life or a game, I'll choose my family life, obviously. But I don't want to be at that. I'm not at the point where in my head I'm saying no, it's impossible to go forward. But I'm at a point where, okay, I had the structure I have the structure ready to anchor. We've scouted a bunch of systems. We've pretty much coordinated where we want to anchor. We talked to the major power in the area to make sure it was cool for them. We actually secure people that could help if we had problem here. And now it's the time to anchor. Probably later tonight or tomorrow, or and I'm really saying like, okay, do I press that anchor button? Because I know that if I do, I'm gonna have to put more than 2 hours in game. And per day. I know that it will lead to that. And not because I think that I think that the corp would do fine. I think that the corp could run with me just being 2 hours per day, but not while managing structure, not with me having interesting stuff. Well, depend. Maybe you find this interesting, but the thing is, I need to have some kind of story to tell you. And if the story is Tanak, the casual player, log for 2 hours, he approved 3 members, and he mined for half an hour, and he ran incursion this week. I mean, at some point it will get repetitive. So you need to have some drama in the series. You need to have some stuff. So is there a way to combine the two? Because and I'm at the point where I'm even doubting myself, like, okay, is pulling out from Unpro a good idea or not? And I know what I said before, and I think the problem is not as much us being in Unpro as the time I'm putting in the game, but it is a combination of the two, because I need to have some stuff to tell you, and to have some stuff to tell you, I need to play enough and do stuff that is interesting enough for you to keep watching the series, I would say, or at least for the series to be interesting to you. So that's it. I don't have an answer for that. Am I gonna close the series? No. Do I want to continue? Yes. Would it take? I don't want to start doing tutorial. I don't want to start. Sometimes I do explain more into detail what I do, but I'm not like a tutorial guy. There's so many better resources than me for tutorial on Eve. I think the value of this series is the story of Tanak, and at some point the story of it became the story of Guns N' Roses. So now in that story, Tanak, the player, has to scale down his implication, and also, like, do I want to? And that's another part. I didn't write it down, but another part is, I did experience a bunch of stuff in game, but I didn't experience all the game has to offer. But most of the people that joined me because I was doing industry, and that's their interest. And most of the people that are following this series are following it because of industry. So do I get to a point? I'm not sure you would say, okay, I don't know if tomorrow I decide to buy a bunch of battleship and go do solo battleship fight. It could be interesting for one. For me it would be interesting, but I'm not sure for my viewer that want to follow industry. I'm not sure that that you guys would enjoy it too. So anyway, what else? It's just it's just a brain dump tonight. So it's just that like what I'm thinking. But I don't want to make a move that is too fast, because every time there's also a thing that is that we started consolidating, and I think we're now at what, 49 people in corp. So we do have like a bunch of members that are staying in on pro that are logging. So I mean, we do have a core player. We're not like we're far from we're still bigger than a lot of corp were before. So I mean, we did take a large haircut, obviously, but now it's really a question of, I mean, I need to provide these members some sort of stability so that they can enjoy the game too. These guys want to do industry, and I mean, I enjoy running in an industrial corp. Like I said, I enjoyed running an industrial corp more than I enjoyed doing industry. But can I do it efficiently, or at least at a good enough level that it doesn't impact my member negatively, while scaling down the amount of time that I put in game? The actual video is not what's the longest. It's really like the time I play. Can I handle that? I mean, and we'll see. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that little insight in how I'm thinking. Like I said, it's not, I'm more in, you're getting like you've got the emotional breakdown, you've got me getting back on my feet, and me just like, okay, reflecting and taking a step back of what I'm doing, what am I doing now. And hopefully Friday you'll get episode 39, and you'll get like the real progress of the corp, the real update, and where we're at. You probably won't see a big financial progress this week because we're mostly consolidating and reorganizing, so we didn't take much time to make money. But hopefully you'll have something good, and you'll probably get where I'm gonna continue thinking about this, talking with people and trying to find the best solution to have interesting content for you guys, interesting stuff to do industry wise for my member, me that can scale down the amount of time I put in game, and still making all of that fun for everyone. so hopefully we'll find the magic formula for that. Have a nice week, everybody, and talk to you Friday. Bye bye.